Welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Gabrielle and I'm a first year in college. Today I have a little quick tutorial for you guys on how to make the eye granny square. I have a few requests from it in the comments and I decided that today I will show you guys how to make it. Without further explanation, let's get into the video. I kind of just drew it. I'm like, how do I explain this?
So you kind of just do it, is what you do.
So like, here you go. Okay, so I created 12 stitches, which are these little pizza slices in the center. And then I knew that in order to make it flat, we have to increase into each of these stitches. It would divide into 24 to show the increases. And then I wanted to make the stitches go from really small to really big to really small again to make the eye shape. So I started with slip stitches across from each other and treble crochets across from each other. So that would be from the smallest stitch to the biggest stitch, and then I just kind of randomly put single crochets, half double crochets, and double crochets within. And then in order to make it flat, we have to increase every other stitch. So that's what these highlighted lines are. And then so that will create this like bigger to smaller kind of design. And of course we do have a background square that we sew the eye onto. I kind of like how when you sew something onto a granny square, it makes whatever you're sewing on pop out and more three-dimensional, and that's especially really cool with an eye. Here are the materials that you're going to need for this tutorial. We'll start with yarn. All of this is the same brand of yarn, just with different colors, and this is the only one that has a label, so I'll show you it. So for this tutorial, you're gonna need definitely white and black, and then the other colors are whatever you want. Again, these are all the same brand as this, just I chose different colors. So black is for the center and white is for the outside of the eye, but I guess you could switch that up if you wanted. I'm using light blue for the color of the eye, and I'll be using dark blue for the granny square itself. I did make a video where I made a cardigan out of these granny squares with eyes on them. The backgrounds are all different colors, the eyes are all different colors, so if you want some more inspiration, you should look at that video. You're gonna need a pair of scissors as well as a yarn needle to weave in the ends. I'm using a 4.5mm hook. That's all the materials you'll need, so let's get started. If you want to know the written pattern, I will have this all in the comments down below, and I will put them on the screen as well so you know everything that we are doing. And we're gonna start with the black for the very center of the eyeball. So we're gonna start with a magic circle. How you make a magic circle is you wrap the yarn around your hook and you make a little cross. And I like to hold the back end of my yarn through with my fingers. So then wherever your cross is, you're gonna go above it, and you're just gonna go under that first strand of yarn and then grab that second yarn and pull it up and through. So once you have it like this, you're probably gonna wanna resituate your hands. So what I like to do is kind of pinch up here, holding these two strings all together so I can let this hand be free. Then I grab the back yarn that's attached to the ball, and I hold that like I would normally when I'm gonna start crocheting. And then I like to kind of pull it tight and pinch my yarn up here so I don't lose the whole thing. And chain one. Once you chain one, it should be pretty secure. Then I'm going to actually chain one more because we're making double crochets, which are 2 stitches tall. So go ahead and make 12 double crochets into your magic circle. To make a double crochet, you want to yarn over, insert your hook into the middle of the circle, like this, just right through your circle. Yarn over and pull through. You should have 3 loops on your hook. And then you're gonna yarn over and pull through the first 2. After you've done that, you're gonna yarn over again and pull through the second 2 loops. Black is kind of hard to see, so if you are a beginner, this might be a little difficult, and you could practice with a lighter color yarn. And I apologize because it's also a little bit less easier to see with my camera. So that was one. Let's do another one. Yarn over, enter your hook through the center of your circle. Yarn over, pull through. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through only the first 2 loops. Come back out should have 2 more on your hook. Yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. So now we have a total of 2 double crochets. The chain 2 I'm not going to count. And continue making double crochets until you have a total of 12 double crochets in your magic circle. Here I am after I've made 12 double crochets. I'm just going to find this little tail and pull it all the way closed until there's no circle in the center, just like that. And then I'm going to count from my hook 12, 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, and insert my hook into that 12th one. I did that just because sometimes it can be confusing with the chain 2 at the beginning, so we want to make sure we're going into that 12th stitch. So now we're going to cut off our yarn, leave plenty of a tail to tie a knot, and switch colors to whatever color you want your eye to be. Mine is light blue. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold my yarn kind of in half like this, stick my hook through that little half, and pull it through. And through the loop on my hook. Then what I'm gonna do is leave that tail out here, and I'm just gonna chain to the height of the double crochets that we're going to be making. So now I'm gonna flip my work over and just tie a knot on the back side with these 2 pieces of yarn. The black that we cut off and the blue that we added. And then we can ignore them. So now what we want to do is we want to put 2 double crochets into each stitch. So I'm gonna skip the stitch that we're in right now, which is this one, and go into the next V. So at the top there should be V's going all the way around your circle. Yarn over and go into skip this area. You can pull your yarn apart and find that little next hole. See where the light is coming through? Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the last 2, and then go ahead and into that very same stitch that you already had the blue in, and make a second double crochet in there. So as you can see, there's 2 going through that one hole. Now we're going to go into that next stitch where the next light is coming through, right through there, and make 2 more double crochets into this one stitch. So there's 1, yarn over, go through the same spot. And you can see here, there's a collection of 2 in one spot, another collection of 2 in another spot. So do this all the way around, and you should have a total of 24 double crochets. It should be twice the amount of the black stitches. And I'll meet you guys back. So I just came all the way around and I counted my stitches and I have 22, so I'm just going to go into this little gap here and put 2 more. And then I'm going to count the V's at the top backwards, 24, to get to my first stitch, just making sure I don't go into one of my chains by accident. So 1, 2, 3, 3, and 24. So into that 24th one, I'm inserting my hook, and you guys know the drill. We're going to be trimming off our yarn, and we're going to add our white. So next we're going to fold our white yarn in half, stick it on our hook, and pull it through, and also through the loop on our hook. Our collective hook.
This is communism, our hook.
You can fold it over and find the light blue and the white end, or whatever color that you have, and tie a knot. It doesn't have to be super tight, just, you know, there. Okay. Then chain 1, and into that same stitch that we are literally just in right here, make a single crochet. So just stick your hook straight in, no yarning over or anything. Yarn over, pull through, and then you'll have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through both of those loops. We're going to put a single crochet increase into the next stitch. So 1 single crochet and then into that same stitch another single crochet. So 2 single crochets in that one stitch. Next we're going to make 1/2 double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 of them. A little different than a double crochet. Then we're going to make a double crochet increase into the next stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 only, come back out, yarn over, pull through the next 2, and for the increase part, do another one in that same stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Next, do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, like so. And then to the next stitch, we're going to make a treble crochet increase. It's possible some of you haven't done a treble crochet stitch before, so you basically yarn over twice. So yarn over once, yarn over twice, and then go into your stitch. And then the rest is kind of like a double crochet. So yarn over and pull through. You'll have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through 2, come back out, 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through next 2, come back out, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And now since this is an increase, we have to do that again into our same stitch. So yarn over once, yarn over again, go into the same stitch, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the next 2, yarn over, go through the last 2. For the next stitch, we're just going to put 1 double crochet. So this is kind of the pattern. We've gone through 1/4 of the eye. You start really small stitches and you work your way up to the treble crochet stitches. Obviously every other one has an increase, so we just did one without an increase. And our next one is a double crochet increase. So 2 double crochets into the next stitch, like so, and then a 1/2 double crochet, and next we're going to do a stitch with an increase, and we're doing single crochets. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, so 2 in that one stitch, then just do 1 single crochet. And now we have worked our way completely what we just did on this side onto this side in the opposite way. But there's actually one other stitch we haven't done yet, and that's a slip stitch. This is the smallest stitch that there is, and we will be doing one on this side as well when we get back. So to do a slip stitch, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and straight through the loop on your hook, no yarning over. And that, as you can see, is really, really short, which is perfect for the top of the eye. Then we're going to complete what we did from the tall to the short, to the short to the tall on this side. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then we're going to do a single crochet increase, so 2 single crochets into the next stitch, like that, then 1/2 double crochet, then we're going to do a double crochet increase, so yarn over, you know how double crochets work, and another double crochet into that same stitch. Then we're going to do a double crochet without an increase, just 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to do our treble crochet increase. So again, that's yarning over once, yarning over twice, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So for the next stitch, yarn over twice, insert your hook into that same spot, yarn over, pull through, and then go through 2, go through 2, go through 2. Next, just do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, then 1 double crochet increase, So 2 double crochets into that next stitch. Then 1/2 double crochet. So again, a half double crochet is yarning over, insert into your loop, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through all 3. Then single crochet increase, so 2 single crochets into the next stitch. 2 in that one spot. Then 1 single crochet, and then into this last stitch, that's where we're going to put our little slip stitch. So into your hook, yarn over, pull through, and the loop on your hook. Then we need to attach, so we're going to actually do a slip stitch. Skip that chain 1 that we did, go right into the top of this V. So here's the chain, here's the top of the next V. Yarn over, pull through, and through. It's another slip stitch. Then chain 1, pull through, pull up a little bit, you'll have a loop. You can kind of cut through that loop and pull it tight. So here's your eye. I like to outline it with black yarn, which is totally optional. What you do is make a slip knot, attach yarn to your hook. You can start in any of the stitches you want. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and through the loop on your hook. Chain 1. And then you're just going to make 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around, and I'm going to weave in my black end as I go. So I just make 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around, and that's really all. So 1 single crochet into each stitch. Sometimes I won't go all the way around, I'll just go around the top half, up to you, but this time I'm going to go all the way around. And once you get back, I'm just going to insert my hook into my first stitch, yarn over, pull through the loop on my hook, chain 1, pull it up, and cut it off. So it's a little bit curly, but it's fine when you sew it on. You can also stretch it out a little bit, and there is the eye. So set that aside for now and get your background color prepared. To make a granny square, we're going to start off with another magic circle. So wrap the yarn around your 2 fingers and make a cross. You're going to hold that end of your yarn back here. Then find your cross and go above it somewhere. Go underneath that first strand of yarn and just pull that second strand of yarn through. Flip your fingers over and pinch where your hook is. Resituate your hands and then try to chain 1 so you can secure your magic circle. Then, because we're working with double crochets, chain 1 again, and now we have the height of our double crochets. Make 3 double crochets into the center of your magic circle. And now that I'm looking, I feel like our chain 2 should count as one of them. It looks like we already have 3. So I'm just going to do 2 double crochets. Then chain 3, this is going to make a corner. And then do 3 more double crochets into your circle. Then we need another corner, 3 chains, 3 more double crochets, another corner. We're making a square, so here's 2, here's a 3rd corner, so we'll need 1 more after this. 3 more double crochets. So we have our 4 sides, but we need to connect them with our last corner. So chain 3. In between the chain 2 and the first double crochet, just insert my hook. Then yarn over, so my hook is right in between here. Yarn over, pull through, and through the loop on your hook. So this is what it all looks like right now. 3. So that's going to be one of our double crochets in the corner and a little space. And then yarn over and put 3 double crochets into this corner. 1, 2. So I'm just going into this gap. 3. And that is what this looks like right now. This will be pulled this way and it will all look good. So since this is our corner, we need to preserve that corner. So we need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3 to remake it, and scoot our little stitches over so we can do 3 more double crochets into that same gap. Yarn over, insert your hook into the gap, make your double crochet. That's 1, do 2 more. So there's your corner preserved. Made another corner. So now we're gonna chain 1 so that we can skip to our next corner. Then we're gonna put 3 double crochets into this corner, separated by a chain 3 and 3 more double crochets, just like we did in the last corner. 1, 2, 3 double crochets, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 more double crochets into this corner. Chain 1 so that we can get to our next corner. 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 more double crochets. Okay, we have 1 more corner to go, and as you can see, we've already done 1 of the stitches for it. So chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 3, and just add 2 more double crochets because we do have this guy right here. So just 2. 1, 2. And then what we're gonna do is we chained 3 here, but we just want to go into that second one because we want to have the chain 1 in the middle like we did for these. 2, 3. So I'm going into that second chain like this. Yarn over, pull through the loop on your hook, and we've completed the second row around. Chain 2. Then we're going to put 2 more double crochets into this gap. So I'm counting this as my double crochet. The reason I didn't chain 3 is because that was for when we were having an extra one for the gap. Here we are going directly into this hole, so we're not going to have an extra chain. So go ahead and have 2 more double crochets right in this gap. You go right through, turn over, pull through. 1, 2. And then what you can do is chain 1 to get to your corner, then do 3 double crochets, chain 3 for the corner part, then 3 more double crochets into the same corner gap. And there you go. Chain 1. That's going to help us get to the middle. Yarn over, 3 double crochets into this middle gap. Chain 1, 3 double crochets into the corner, chain 3, 3 more double crochets, all into this corner. Chain 1, 3 double crochets into this middle gap. Chain 1. Now we're at the corner, so 3 double crochets, 3 chains, 3 more double crochets. Chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next gap. Chain 1, 3 double crochets, 3 chains, 3 double crochets. To connect that, I'm just going to go in between these 2 double crochets here, so the chain 2 and the double crochet, and yarn over, pull through, and through the loop on my hook. Chain 3, we're going to work into this gap now, so we're going to put 3 double crochets into this gap, 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets into all of the corners, chain 1, 3 double crochets into this gap, chain 1, 3 double crochets into this gap, chain 1, 3 double crochets, 3 chains, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets, and you get the pattern all the way around. So I will show you with here to here and then just repeat the pattern all the way around. So here we have chain 3, so that counts as our 2 for the double crochet, the extra for the chain 1 to get to this gap. Yarn over, 3 double crochets into this gap, like so, chain 1, 3 double crochets, 3 chains, 3 double crochets into this corner, chain 1 to get to the next gap, and then put 3 double crochets into here, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next gap, chain 1, 3 double crochets, 3 chains, 3 double crochets, and repeat what we just did. And I'll meet you guys back at the end. So in this last gap, I just put 2 double crochets because we have our chain 2 right here. So into that 1, 2, the second chain, insert your hook, yarn over and pull through and through the loop on your hook. Then chain 1, pull up your yarn, cut it off, and you can pull tight. So that is the finished granny square. Then we're going to need to sew our eye right onto there. If you don't feel like weaving in the ends, well, same. You can just tuck them in the back kind of and lay them down on top. It's kind of a little secret and they don't usually show on the back. Then what you're gonna do is take a piece of black yarn, this long basically. Then you can weave it into your little yarn needle and you just kind of hold the eye on there in the center, hopefully, and just go up through the square like this and pull up. Not all the way obviously because the yarn will go through. Then work your way around going down into the next V and just wherever it pokes through on the granny square part and pull that through. And then I like to tie a knot here so it doesn't come out. And now that that's secure, also you might want to keep rechecking to make sure the eye is centered. And then continue just poking up through the next V. Poking wherever. If there's not a specific spot on the back, just make sure it's going through the right spot on the eye. That's the important part. There's sometimes when you go through a V, you won't actually go through any parts on the back of the square, and that's fine too. Like right here, I'm just going through a gap in the back, and that's also fine. Just go through each of the black stitches somewhere. And a lot of them go through the granny square part, and that's enough to keep it attached. So continue this all the way around, and I'll meet you back for finishing the square off completely. Okay, so I finished sewing the eye on, and here I am at the back. I made it to the beginning, and I'm just going to tie another knot with my 2 strands of yarn. Trim them a little. And to be honest, I'm just gonna stick them into the back. I just tuck them in beneath the eye. Same thing with this one. Any that I can, I'm doing that for, because they don't really come out, so it's fine. Like, nobody really looks in there and sees the difference. This one, however, I do have to weave in, and I should show you how to weave in something the correct way in case you're not sure, because I didn't know how to weave in things the correct way for a long time. Just kind of go straight through the stitches. I realize this isn't that helpful, but I used to think you had to go weaving in like this, and that's, I mean, I guess it works for a little until it doesn't, but you should go straight through. So, kind of like that. And doesn't exactly matter. And then you can kind of pull it out like this. Trim the yarn. And there you have it. If you make 8, 12, 30, something amount of these, or you can make one of these and one of some others. I'll show you a bag that I made. Here's a bag that I made. It is with a bunch of different granny squares. There are tutorials all over YouTube for how to make ladybugs, frogs, bees, all sorts of other granny squares like the moon, peace sign, sunflower. You can make any appliques and you can just sew them onto a granny square and make something fun like this. Sew them all together, add straps and some sides, and you got a bag. Let me know what you make with these eye granny squares in the comments down below, as well as any questions that you have, and I will respond hopefully within a day. Alright, see you in the next tutorial. Thank you all for watching.